You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so why try to build a business without one? Grow your contracting business and grow your mind with Growth Mindset Monday.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's another beautiful Monday. Now in December. Can you believe it? We are already in month 12 of 2024. It seems like we were just in 2023, doesn't it? Well, you guys know the drill. If you're here live, go ahead and drop your name, your business name, and where you're from. We'll be sure to give you a shout out. Man, it's crazy. I was sitting down this weekend talking to my wife while we were putting up the Christmas tree, the good old Christmas tree. And that's right. We're one of those that waits until after Thanksgiving, you heathens. It's October and September, and you guys are throwing up your Christmas tree. Come on now. Give October what it needs. Halloween. Give Thanksgiving to or November to Thanksgiving, and then put up your Christmas tree. Well, we were sitting here and we were talking about like the speed at which life is moving right now. Now we're in a very unique position in life. We didn't necessarily plan to have kids when we were young. We wanted to, have our established careers and life and business and everything. But hey, life has a way of kind of throwing a wrench in things. So here we are. I'm 47 years old. My wife's 45. And our youngest will be moving out here in about 30 days, going to college. So we're going to be empty nesters. That's right. Empty freaking nesters, man. It is nuts how fast things move. But what we're really excited about is the opportunity that we have to double down on two things. One is us and our relationship in our life. And then two, it's the business, right? Think about right now, and I don't like to think of family as a distraction, and I never will, but think about right now, if you didn't have the obligations that you do day in and day out, right? What would you accomplish? So it's really a unique time for us. Now, again, if you're here live, go ahead and drop your name and your business name, and we'll give you a shout out. We're going to start with the one and only Chad Cranfield. Welcome to the show. Chad Cranfield Construction, Southeast Indiana. Welcome. We've got Michael Babbitt, BMF Services, Be Good Neighbors, Build More Fences. That's a good tagline. I like it. Well done. Well done. Ricardo M, RM Landworks, Outdoor Living. Welcome to the show. And we've got Daniel with Noble Custom Glass and Mirror checking in from the mobile office, driving to the next job. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this or not. We're trying to get our act a little more together. But we did send out an email with a recap of last week and what to expect this week. We're going to be doing that a little more often. So you guys can be prepared for continuing to build and grow that business of yours. Now, if you think about growth, is that the first thing that comes to mind in December? Like right now, are you thinking about business growth? Odds are right now you're thinking about something other than business growth, which probably includes what am I going to do the rest of the month? What obligations do I have? Is there any travel? Fill in the blank with something. And that's the problem that most contractors run into towards the tail end of the year. It's not that the work isn't there. It's not that the opportunities aren't there. It's not that they couldn't be doing something to grow their business. It's just that they get distracted by everything else. I was literally on the phone with a plumbing business this morning and talking to them. They do about 100, 120 a month. And we were talking and I said, hey, what are you guys doing? And she's like, well, I keep getting phone calls and questions and stuff about insurance. right? Because it's open enrollment and all these other things, which I'm not saying insurance isn't important, because it is. But what I'm saying is, if you get stuck in the nitty gritty and the little things that are happening day to day, what are you not doing? Right? And that's a conversation that we have to focus on. What are you not doing? Marketing is a 24/7, 365 day a year endeavor. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be out knocking doors every day. That doesn't mean that you're going to be posting on social media every day. But what it means is your mindset has to be, what am I doing today to market my business? Now, I apologize ahead of time. I may cough. I'm getting over a little bit of a chest cold. So bear with me, especially when I get excited. My throat starts to get a little dry. In the meantime, we've got one more here showing up. We got Greg with Sunshine Construction, Lafayette, Louisiana. Welcome to the show, Greg. Well, if marketing is something that we're supposed to do 24/7, 365, why don't we? If marketing is something that we're supposed to do 24/7, 365, how do we? If marketing is something that we're supposed to do 24/7, 365, when do we? Right? And these are the questions that keep coming up in every conversation that I have. In fact, the end of the month, we're having a 2-day, it's an in-person workshop, but we're having a 2-day workshop. It's really meant for companies doing under 50K a month. But it's answering these questions about growth, but growth associated with a game plan, not just the sake of like, hey, let me stand on a corner with a sign and wave it around and hopefully some people will call me, right? It's about the consistency of the game plan. It's the boring things that lead you to the results that you're after. So as I continue on this conversation, I'm going to drop some tips and tricks here for you. I want to ask you guys right now, it's December 9th, 2024. What are you doing this month for marketing for your business? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. What are you doing this month for marketing for your business? Drop it in the comments. We got Joel Best. Good afternoon, everyone. AJ Painting Services and more. Welcome, Joel, to the show. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. What are you doing this month for marketing in your business? Okay, go ahead and drop it. Now, while you're thinking about this, I want to give you some examples, right? And these are some examples from me personally, and these are also some examples from some clients of ours. There's one customer of mine, client, good friend of mine, Adam, and he has a commercial business, right? They do waterproofing and caulking. Well, what he does every single December is he goes out to Kneaders. If you don't know what Kneaders is, think of it as like a bakery, right? They go to Kneaders and they buy these big, ginormous baskets of, breads and cinnamon rolls and treats and all this stuff. And they go and they deliver it to the offices of these big construction companies that they do business with. Now you're like, wait a minute, what the hell does that have to do with marketing? Well, it's everything. Because if you remember, marketing is two things. It's getting and it's keeping people's attention. If you already have somebody's attention, your job is to keep it. If you don't have it yet, your job is to get it, right? So he takes these baskets and they cost him thousands of dollars, right? To drop off these baskets. But he gets to do my favorite thing, shake hands, kiss babies, the front desk, the project managers, the business owner. And they get to talk about what's coming up next, how grateful they are for them, right? And these people get to eat the food and say, man, these guys are super awesome. They went above and beyond, right? There's another company that I'm involved with that I won't say names yet because we're still kind of behind the scenes, but I will tell you that we're sitting on about $100 million worth of projects here in the next 12 to 18 months. Now I say that because the opportunities are there, right? And in fact, when I'm done here, I'm going to go to a lunch where we're going to sit down and discuss a $30 million hotel project, right? Now, that's marketing to me, right? How am I getting in front of those right people and building those relationships that takes that potential opportunity to a sales opportunity, right? That's marketing. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments here. First of all, Michael Young, Fits Just Right Handyman Service. Welcome to the show. And then we got Angelo. Greetings. Good afternoon. Morel Premium Renovations. Welcome to the show. So we've got a couple of comments here. Daniel says, I would hopefully be diving head over heels into work and business, but since we also had a child early, I decided to intentionally not let myself get too deep into the business. Daniel, totally get it. And by the way, family, and you guys know this because I say it all the time, family is most important, right? But I'm still going to challenge you and say, what can you do to market your business, right? We've got Michael that says, truck goes in Wednesday to have a full wrap put on. Boom. That is marketing. Thank you for bringing that up, Michael. marketing, again, doesn't have to be you standing on the corner. Marketing can also be you getting your name out. How do you get your name out? Slap a wrap, a magnet, get a Sharpie and throw your name on the side of your truck. Maybe not a Sharpie, but get something to get your name out so people know who you are. Think about it. The major metropolitan areas in the US, which most of you are relatively close to, have on average 1.5 to 3.5 million people that live there. So let's just say less than the sixth of them are driving their car. So let's say there's 200,000 to 500,000 people a day that are driving around on these roads. How many of them would benefit from seeing you? They may not be ready to buy from you, but they see you and it gets stuck in their head. And then tomorrow they see you again. And then next week they see you again and they see you again and they see you again. And then they're ready for what? They're ready. They're going to call you because you're the guy that they saw out there. Beautiful. Follow-up comment here. Michael says, I use a lot of apps and also truck and trailer that is wrapped. Beautiful. Great thing right there. Ricardo says, IG ads, Instagram ads. That's an interesting one. So tell me a little bit more about your Instagram ads, which, by the way, you guys can run ads 24/7, 365. You can run them in the winter. You can run them in the summer. You can run them during holidays. Yes, you can run them. Now, I do preface that by saying, make sure that you're following the data and the numbers. The numbers will tell you if it's worth you doing it or not. Okay. So that's a good one. Let's see what else. Daniel says, trying to consistently push social media content and being present in industry groups. That's good. And then Michael says, I use a lot of apps and also truck. Oh, I already read that one. That's my bad. Let's go here to Ricardo. Post videos on social media plus ads and update daily to my customer on my stories. Awesome. That's great. So there's a lot of different things that you guys are seeing out here that you can do. What I want to give you is a framework, a foundation for you to understand. Now we're running 2 workshops in the next 30 days. 2. It's crazy, right? People are like, I'm taking time off. I'm doing whatever. Yes, take the time off. But December 30th and 31st, we're running a 2-day workshop. They're meant, again, for contractors 60K and below. Then January 6th and 7th, and this is where if you want to meet Justin Smith, CEO of Contractor Plus in person, you're going to want to be there because we're having them come out for that. But if you're pushing 7 figures or you're above 7 figures, that's the one you're going to want to come to. Why are we running 2 workshops towards the end / beginning of the year? Because most contractors, when they hit busy season, all it is this is me juggling balls, right? Trying to juggle everything in the air, everything's falling there, trying to figure it all out. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work because there's no plan behind it. And so January, end of December, beginning of January is when you plan out your year. So if you're struggling with figuring out how to plan out your year, drop a comment and we'll reach out and we'll have a conversation with you. We got a lot of different options for you. We're going to be integrating some more stuff into Contractor Plus to be able to help you out with this. We're going to be running some live trainings, some webinars, if you will. But really, what we want to do is create the opportunities for you to get the results that you want. And as you know, what we always talk about is marketing is the foundation of that. Now, when we're talking about marketing in a game plan, I want you to understand marketing through this perspective. There's 2 things when it comes to marketing that are most important, okay? There's the channels that you own, and there's the channels that you pay for. What do I mean by that? Well, a channel that you own is one that you control, right? So a marketing channel that you control would be like a business card. And you're like, that's not a channel. Oh, but it is, because you get to design your business card. You get to choose who you're handed out to, right? You get to decide what you're going to put on it. You control that channel, right? So that's a marketing channel for you. And I know a lot of you guys are part of networking groups, which is great. That's a channel you control. What's another channel you control? Well, I want you to think about your website. Some of you guys have killer websites. Congratulations. Some of you guys, you need to get a hold of Justin and have Contractor Plus build you something because your website sucks, right? The point is you control your website. You control what goes on it. You control what you say. You control any specials that you have. You control if you have a chatbot on there. You control everything on your website. It's a channel that you control. Google My Business, you control it, right? The Google local service ads, like there's a lot of different things, but I want you to understand is there's channels that you control. Now, what are channels that you don't control or that you have to pay for? Well, you may think that, I don't pay for Facebook or Instagram, except that you do, right? Through time, energy, and attention, you pay, but you don't control them. At any moment, Facebook could decide, I don't like your profile, so we're going to suspend you. At any point, the algorithm, because at this point, I'm completely convinced it's not a person, could choose to shut down your account and you don't control it. So what are you going to do if all of your eggs are in that basket? You're going to be hurting, right? And I've seen it happen over and over and over again. I've seen people add a separate location to their Google My Business profile and Google shuts everything down. In fact, mine was down for almost 3 months. I'm literally just barely getting it back up. I had to nuke my old one and start a new one, right? So it's the stuff that you don't control. Your job is to create a game plan behind both of them, right? The own channels and then the paid channels. So what do we need to do to be able to make that happen? Nick asked a really good question here, right? Nick says, best platform to advertise on for leads. How many of you guys think you have the answer to that one? Here's the truth, Nick, and nobody will tell you this, especially marketers. But here's the truth. I don't know, and neither do you, until you test it out. The hardest thing for me to understand and learn about marketing was that marketing is a big freaking science experiment. That's what it is. It's a science experiment. I don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work until I try it out, right? Michael says door to door. Well, that's probably because Michael's had success door to door, right? And I can tell you a lot of people who haven't had success door to door. If you're dealing with commercial or residential builders, door to door is probably not going to be your best option, right? So you have to understand who it is that you want to work with. Okay. Number one. When we talk about building out a game plan, I will always revert to this. You have to understand who it is that you want to work with. You could call it your ideal customer. You can call it your who. There's all kinds of different names for it. Who do you want to work with, right? In our elite level program, for example, I know exactly who we want to work with. Contractors and trade business owners that have between 5 and 30 employees and ultimately want to grow their business while working their way out of the business. Very clear. Where and how I market then depends on those types of people, right? For our other program, our Elevate program, the one I was telling you about, hey, that's contractors that are doing between 25 and 60K a year and want to get the framework for continued growth. Awesome. We can do that too, right? But I'm very clear. And so now when I market, when I talk to people, I can talk to them and they will either listen to me because I'm who they're looking for, or they won't because I'm not. And your job in marketing is to get your people to raise their hand, your people to pay attention, not the people. Like, I don't care about likes and comments and whatever. I think on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, which by the way, if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe, Success Unleashed Beyond the Job Site. It's under the American Contractor Network. On our YouTube channel, I think we just crossed 65,000 views. Golf clap. Congratulations. Nobody cares. I'll be honest with you. I don't care either, because what I want is I want my people to be watching. I want my people to be paying attention. I want my people to reach out and say, can you help me? That's what I want, right? Big difference there. So you have to get super clear on who it is that you want to work with. Number one, most important. Okay. The second thing is, what are you doing for them? Now, if you notice, I kind of combined these two. It wasn't just who I want to work with, but it's also what can I do for them? But for you, what do you do for them? Right? It could be any of a number of things, but it's beyond the product or service that you offer. Right? So Michael, I'm going to go back to his comment here. Kind of funny. Be good neighbors, build more fences, right? It's kind of funny. But at the end of the day, right? Why would somebody call Michael and get a fence put in? Why? What's the purpose? Like, do I need a fence to keep the animals out, to keep the neighbors out, to keep the criminals out? Like, what's the purpose behind it? If you don't know that, it's really hard for you to have a conversation around it. If you're a roofer, for example, it's really easy to say, we replace roofs. Well, congratulations, you and the other 15,000 people. Give you a perfect example. Here in the Salt Lake Valley, there's about 2 to 2.5 million people. There's over 1,000 roofing companies. 1,000. How the hell do you pick the right one? Well, I can tell you some of them know who they're marketing to and how they're marketing to them. And some of them don't. And the ones that do are the ones that are growing. Make sense? So who do you want to work with? And what exactly are you doing for them are the two foundational questions. Now, what do we do after that? You have to figure out a way to get people's attention. Okay. So I'm going to go through a couple comments here. Nick says, I feel it's more of a digital world for advertising these days, but word of mouth is still clutch. Nick, you're on. It's both. It really is both. There's some people who look online. There's some people that you're going to meet, right? Your job is figure that out for you and your business. Michael says, I like to go to each job site, see a GC doing and offer my services. You're a go-getter, 100%. That's great if contractors are who you work with, right? But it's not just that, Michael, right? What can you do for them? Well, you got to get to know them. And I know I'm going down a little bit of a rabbit hole here, but Michael, for you, it's like, hey, listen, my name is Michael. This is the name of my company. This is what I do. I'd love to learn more about you and how we can do business together, right? So if you're doing handyman services, Michael, you're probably going to work with some remodelers, right? Cool. So take them out to lunch. Hey, what's your biggest pain point or problem? How can I help you with that? Right? Remember, your job as a business owner is to solve problems. Homeowners' problems, contractors' problems, developers' problems. Your job is to solve people's problems. This opportunity that I was telling you about, that's, on the low end worth 100 million, probably more. It literally came out of a conversation like, what can I do to help you? That's it. And in the commercial space, there's a lot of contractors who suck at running their business. Congratulations, right? If they suck at running their business, then that frustrates developers, right? And builders. And so what we said is like, hey, what if we become the middleman? What if we take care of the process of vetting, getting insurance, licenses, all that information from the subs? We get their numbers. We go bid the projects. And then they have one source that they're going to for all of their issues instead of 17 ones, right? Anyway, that's the opportunity. Okay. So let's keep rolling on this thing. Okay. So you know who you want to work with, you know what you want to do for them. Now you got to build the presence. So let's talk about building your online presence. How many of you, I'm not going to say how many of you have a website. I'm going to say how many of you are proud of your website. Like you would show that thing off. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. If you are that person, okay, you would show it off. I'm going to tack something on. Let's talk about your logo or your brand. Would you show that thing off? Which, by the way, look at this thing. I got my logo here, Win the Daily War, which is one of my slogans. And then I got the hat here with the logo. And then I got the background here. What am I doing? I'm branding. I'm marketing. I want you guys to see me and be like, oh, I know that guy. That's what I want. That's what marketing is, right? We got Christina Zacharias Landscaping, Riverside. Welcome to the show. I was just in Riverside not so long ago. Ricardo says you need to build your brand for ads to work. Yes, I agree to a point for sure. Let's see. Greg says, I have a Contractor Plus website and definitely like it. Beautiful. Thank you. Justin says, definitely. So understand, if you don't like it, what makes you think that somebody else is going to like it? It's not going to happen, man. Like you're not proud of your thing. Nobody else is going to be proud of it for you, right? You have to be proud of it. Like the reason I give out swag is because I want people to wear it. I want people to ask questions about it. I want people to say, where did you get that? What does it represent? Who are you? I want that. That's marketing for me. Now I have people marketing for me. Different conversation. Okay. So if you're not proud of your website, what makes you think that somebody else is going to be? What makes you think that somebody is going to want to do business with you if you don't have something that they can go search you? I want you to think about it this way. When you shop right now, let's say Amazon, right? When you shop on Amazon or Google, right? Wherever you're shopping right now, what's the first thing you look at? Go ahead. Tell me. First thing. This is where the Jeopardy music plays. Justin, we got to get that Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do. Right? The first thing that people always do is they go read the reviews. Reviews. You know it. I know it. We all look at it, right? If you don't have any reviews, or if your reviews are negative, what does that say to somebody? Ooh, I don't want to work with them. I get it. Now we're talking online. So we're just talking online. Your reviews. Excuse me. If you don't have good reviews, people are not going to do business with you. Period. Right? So should you be getting good reviews? Yes, you should. Should you be posting those reviews? Yes, you should. That's marketing for you, right? Every single person that you work with should be getting something from you that says, hey, would you mind reviewing this for me? Reviewing us, giving us a 5-star. Can you offer them a $5 gift card to Starbucks. Yes, right? The goal is to get reviews. People are looking for reviews. They don't want to be the one that has to figure out if you're good or not. So if you don't have a website or you don't have reviews, that's the place to start. Okay. So let's go back to the websites because we got a couple comments coming in. Daniel says arts could use an update for sure. Fresh content. Yeah, 100%, man. Fernando says I don't. Joe says brand. Yes, 100% brand. And then Daniel says reviews. Just backing up what I said. Cool. So understand that for you to grow, okay, clear on who you work with, clear on what you do for them. And then let's start talking about online, right? The channel you control your website. If somebody Googles your website and they look it up, are they going to be like, wow, I'm impressed. I really want to do business with this guy or this gal? Or no, ooh, who are they? Right? Now, I get it. There's always the business that sneaks through and doesn't have a website and they make millions of dollars. That's the exception. That's not the rule. So don't use that as an example. Okay. Now, what about your social media profiles? If I was to look at your social media profiles today, would I be impressed? Or would I be like, well, I think they exist. I'm not really sure because I can't find anything. Which one is it for you? Do you have social media profiles? Are your social media profiles updated with current pictures or videos, even better? Or you're reposting your customer reviews. I'm not going to get crazy and say like, hey, you need to create TikTok videos and, do all the trendy things. You don't need to, right? And if you're just starting out, don't even worry about that because that's going to distract you and it's going to frustrate you. And ultimately, you're not going to do anything. Just keep it simple. Take pictures. Before and after is the easiest thing you can do. People love before and afters. Why do you think HGTV is worth billions of dollars? It ain't because it's called HGTV. It's because they go through the process of before and afters. People love to see that stuff. So if they love to see that stuff, show it to them. Give them the opportunity to see you and the quality of your work. All right. What about your Google business profile? Again, we talk about reviews. We talk about people Googling. They might show up or search you on social media, or they might search you on Google. But if they search you on Google, are they going to find you? If you're not showing up top 3, they're not going to find you. Period. And again, this isn't a strategy where I'm going to teach you how to do that stuff. I can connect you with Ryan. He's our marketing expert. He can help you with all that. But what I want you to understand is these are the questions that you need to be asking and you need to be finding solutions for. Next thing is your physical presence. And we talked about this with wrapping trucks and business cards and things like that. Your physical presence, right? If you work consistently in an area, people need to know who you are and they need to know what you do. We've done a couple different things here recently. We just did something called the Giving Tree. And the Giving Tree is we had worked with a nonprofit and they adopted some families, some kids that needed stuff. It's crazy, man. We are so blessed. And I don't want to go down a tangent, but we are so blessed because we take things for granted, right? Like I have an unfinished basement in my house. It's unfinished. And my sisters came for Thanksgiving and, one of my sisters slept down here with her family on a couple mattresses, and we all laughed about a good time. There's kids that are asking for bed sheets, like bed sheets, right? So anyway, perspective. But what we did is we partnered with this charity called the Giving Tree, and we got a bunch of ornaments that tags, if you will, that we put on this tree. We got 30 of them. Boom, gone within a week. Man, I'm so excited about that. But then we could talk about it. We could talk about, hey, look, this is what we're doing to help out the community, right? Next year, we're partnering with a group called Homemade, and we're building they're mini, but they're duplexes for the homeless, right? And all of our clients are going to come and participate, right? We're doing this because, again, I want people to see us for who we truly are. I can sit here and talk, blah, 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 look at us, we're so awesome, this is great, or I can just show you, right? For you on social media, for you with your customers and your clients, they care more about the show me, don't tell me all day, every day. And I know people that I will call like that because they're that type of person. They're going to do the work that needs to get done. Are you that person? Are you the person that people are going to call when they have an issue? Now, last piece And certainly not the least, we're keeping this really high level. But last piece, and this is what I really want you to understand. Your job when it comes to marketing is twofold. As we said at the beginning, get people's attention and keep people's attention. You need to determine what marketing channels are best for you. For some of you, it's Instagram ads, Facebook ads, Google My Business. That's going to be your go-to, and that's awesome. So let's figure out how to make that work and then get it to keep growing. For some of you, it's going to be more of an in-person or a referral relationship. Cool. Whatever it is, remember every single day, you have to get people's attention and you have to keep people's attention. If you can't do that, you're not going to be marketing well. And if you can't market well, you're not going to sell. And if you don't sell, you don't have a business. So remember, at the end of the day, I get it. It's December. People want to take time off. People want to check out. If you're going to go on vacation, fine, go on vacation. Nothing wrong with that. Hell, we're going on a cruise in January. But make sure that your business is still running even when you're not there. Make sure that in some way, shape, or form, you're still able to market, even if you're not there. It's 2024 now, soon to be 2025. People expect to see you. And if you're not there, they're going to move on to something else. So be the business that's always there. Be the business that does what they said they're going to do. Keep marketing. And I guarantee you in 2025, you will have the business that you want. All right. You guys know what time it is. It's time to get after it. 3, 2, 1.